manipulated their positioning to be way better than their opponents. Blink is messaging me. Why? He says good news, and now he's logged off. Yeah, I don't know what that means. But yeah, basically, they fought smart battles, and they forced themselves into smart battles. Like, they were hitting at the right times to prevent any decent Tier 2 armies to be facing them, like a bunch of rifles and casters. And rifles sort of suck until you get the range upgrade. Anyways, but, oh, he's back. What is the good news? Yeah, I had to type that with one hand, sorry. That's why it took forever. But yeah, basically you can do that. Oh, he's back on staff. Oh, nice. Congrats. What was I saying? It was pretty important. Oh, you can actually use sort of these strategies in solo as well. The only difference is it's a little harder to keep track of your opponent just because they're sort of the same maps, but they're the same size. So you really have to be paying attention to what items that their opponent's hero picked up. Really keep track of them a little better. And then basically you can use the same kind of tactics, which is getting better positioning, fighting the battles that are good for you. Like, a lot of the concepts that are used in 2s are used a lot in solo, but generally in solo they're not as important as micro. Ah, you bastard, hold on. I'm doing an audio. Okay, looks like he wants a shout out. Watch, he'll ask. Pretty much everyone I talk to on MSN when I'm doing an audio is like, oh my god, give me a shout out. Wait for it. Yep, shout out to Blink. Yeah, okay. But yeah, a lot of the tactics in solo aren't used as much by good players too. Like, they generally try and out-micro their opponent as opposed to outthink them, which I think is a huge flaw in this game. I mean, if you can outthink your opponent, that's... I still think, like, if you can outthink an opponent with crazy micro, you should still win. And generally, people do still win, so... It's good to think smart, or to play smart. Think smart, too, is obviously important, but... Yeah, I just wanted to highlight those in an audio. Obviously, it was a pretty good 2s series. And one thing I have been doing is actually I've been downloading a lot of the old Tillerman audios. Man, he has some crazy power bitches. He's like, what can I do? The human player's army is always better than your army. I love it. He's got a fantastic accent too. Oh, well. Anyways, I'm gonna end the audio off here since it's pretty long, and plus there are 2 live games. Yeah, one of them, I'm not sure if the Forza game is as good as it could be, but, I mean, it's Forza RT. There isn't really much I can do. I mean, I could have backstabbed someone, but basically there was no point, because some of my allies were just useless anyways, so... Killing them would have been doing the same thing anyways. Yeah, so I'm going to end the audio off here. I had a thought, it kind of died on exit though. Burned up on re-entry. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is that, like, I should have discussed some of the options that the undead player had. Besides going Destros, which is retarded. By the way, is he could have actually gone with a Necro Wagon, and you might think that's retarded, but all you really have to do is coil, or I guess Nova in his case, because he decided to get Nova, any of the wisps that come at you, and then basically you get the Master Training upgrade with a couple meat wagons, and you're in a pretty good situation as it is. just because you get all that piercing damage. You also have your fiends, and then you also have the meat wagons, plus you have a bit of a meat shield with the skeletons. So yeah, that's one thing you should really keep in mind, is that going the cookie cutter kind of blows in most situations. In 2s, you can't always go the cookie cutter, and I think that's why KOD Gaming won so many series early on. Of course, they're kind of losing a lot more. I think it's because people are picking up on the fact that they can't just do the cookie cuttering, still hope to win. So, yeah, I thought I'd point that out. I should have just mentioned that WNV actually did all the right things in those games, as he tried to. You know, he went with the Dryads and the Glaive Throwers in the first game. I mean, obviously that one TP kind of blew the game, but there really wasn't much he could do. I mean, if he had gone a different hero first, they probably would have been in a better position. But in the Lost Temple game, WNV, I guess I'll call him 1000, because that sounded right when someone said it, I think. I forget who it was. But, I mean, he had 2 expos. He could have gone Morts with Sorks. He could have gone with a lot more rifles. He could have gone with the Blood Mage second, and actually done a lot of the, you know, a lot of the AoE damage that would have actually really helped them out in that situation. The second game, I mean, he went Lich, which was retarded. Basically, if he had gone Crypt Lord and Pit Lord, they probably could have won, just because you're reducing so much of their damage output. I mean, you know, you Howl of Terror, you get rid of 15% of their damage output, and then you Impale. Then you get rid of even more of their damage output because you've just stunned 17 of their units. I mean, say even in the second game, like he tried to prevent, you know, his allies' fiends from getting jacked by trying to prevent Axla from wrapping around and killing those fiends. I don't know, I think he played like 10 times better than Mr. 1000 in those series. You know, people do say that 1000 is an innovator, but he's not really the same as Axlav, just because he kind of does, you know, variations of cookie cutters, which sort of throw people off, which I think is weird. But Axlav actually does something crazy that you won't expect, or he'll mass Huntress in matchups that aren't Orc Mirror, or not Orc Mirror, Human Mirror, Elf Mirror. What am I talking about? Elf Mirror. If I'd said Undead Mirror too, that would have been perfect. Just say everything but the actual matchup. Way to go. But yeah, I just think that I think innovation requires some sort of actual thinking on a strategic level, or unit selection level, as opposed to what 1000 does. I mean, he is a good player. He does have decent strategies, but he generally makes one strategy and sticks to it, as opposed to Axlav, who will make multiple strategies. Of course, he does have the advantage of playing random, but yeah, I thought I'd point that out. So yeah. Anyways, so thanks for listening. Hope you guys learned something about 2s, I guess. And yeah, I will see you guys later.